I mean chaos mods, not randomizers, but I'm sure they exist as well. I have heard of Dark Soul randomizers, but I'm not really interested in Dark Souls. So, what is the channel of the person who develops this FF7 Chaos mod, if you don't mind sharing it with me? Have I ever played an action RPG? I don't even know how to answer that question because I wouldn't really know what constitutes an action RPG. Can you give me an example of one or explain to me what an action RPG is exactly? I mean, to be fair, I've not even played that many video games in my entire life. You'd be surprised. I mean, I'm sure you've played more video games than I. A fairly vivid connection to games such as Majora's Mask and other spooky Nintendo shit. I feel like there's a fairly latent rivalry between people speedrun. I'm kind of really fond of Gulliver the game. I don't even know what Hey You Pikachu is. But I had Pokemon Channel for the Nintendo GameCube, which is an amazingly stupid game. Oh my god, how did you know I also had Star Wars Pod Racer? Because I actually did. Isn't the game actually called Star Wars Pod Racer Episode 1? Or something like the title is quite long. And I think it's also terribly, probably not so good racing game. Then again, I'm not sure if I would say any racing games are good. But then again, I guess like the video games that you play in your childhoods, I mean, they're not really your faults. It's not my fault that I played these games. I was kind of forced to. Like a lot of peer pressure and stuff. I mean, what I specifically remember of that game is that maybe I'm not really sure what the combination of factors here is, but when I played that racing game, Star Wars Episode 1 Racers. Oh hey Nola Fizz, how are you? When I played that game, because I was like, I don't know, 6 or 7 or 8 years at that time, I was not very good at that game. So I was never really able to beat the game and unlock all the various stages. So that's kind of disappointing. Oh my god, this is quite good actually. Well, see you fine lines. I hope you don't have to abuse the staff toilets that much more. No, should I actually buy any of this stuff? Not so sure. Do I have enough money? Can I sell some more shit? Oh yeah, I can definitely sell that. This is useless. And I can't quite say I can see what this emote is. Is it like a fish in a garbage can with a heart next to it? I mean, it seems like this should have some kind of significance to me. Goat of Duty. No, I have not heard of that game. What exactly is Goat of Duty? It sounds like a mixture of Call of Duty and Goat Simulator. Is it just that? I mean, you can actually leave this guy there and nothing happens. you can help him and nothing happens. It's just simulation of life. If you find a guy in a... I mean, let's be real, this is some kind of sex dungeon. Anyway, if you find a guy in a sex dungeon, just chained up to some kind of... What even is this? Like, a torture rag thing? Anyway, the lesson you should take away from this game session here is that it doesn't matter what you do to him, you don't get anything out of it, so you can just leave and leave him there, because he will not give you any useful ethers or phoenix downs. So this is one of the great takeaways from this game. I mean, is that really called bondage? I mean, how is he even strapped to that table? This is amateur's bondage. I mean, if it's not even shibari bondage, is it really bondage? Oh yeah, and I should exchange the third battery, which I can't do currently because I didn't buy any WoW. I mean, it really shows that I have not played this game in a while, because I just completely forgot to buy any batteries. So now we have to go down this amazing screen, and then again go up. I mean, to be fair, I mean, the timer is only really just up there for like more so for like my stream time, not so much as a timer for how long I've been playing this for. But yeah, I mean, you can tell the rust is real. It's very real. I mean, it's so rusty you should definitely get your tetanus vaccination refreshed. And did I get any more good materia? I mean, let's see. I think I did. I mean, I guess my most precious acquisition so far, Ultima. I mean, Effort 2 is not bad. I mean, I must say I have some really neat stuff. I even have HP Plus by now, which came with Aerith by default. And then I've added effects and steel. I mean, the only garbage I have so far is underwater. Everything else is really very neat, I would say. I mean, how is tetanus spread anyway? I mean, I have no idea, but for some reason in my mind, when I think of tetanus, I think you get it from like rusty nails. Somehow, I mean, how often does it happen that you'd have some kind of injury that involves being stabbed, pierced by rusty metalware? I mean, I'm not saying that you shouldn't get vaccination because it's so unlikely to happen that you suffer from it. I'm just wondering how you even get tetanus. I mean, where do you even still find rust these days? Aside, of course, from speedrunners. So, if you get tetanus from speedrunners, does that mean that you shouldn't date speedrunners if you're not immune to tetanus? Oh, that sounds about right. I mean, people have dated me, and I guess I'm a speedrunner. I mean, I can probably, I mean, of course, it's kind of unfair to, like, judge yourself based on people's reactions, but I would say that people have not been complaining about Rust. I mean, what even are speed dates? I don't know. Well, I'm glad that you're here, Zreka, to inform me about the manifold infection possibilities for tetanus. Thank you for that. I don't really enjoy the idea of speed dating. I mean, I think speed dating denotes a very particular scenario where you're in like a restaurant or something and you're dating like 7 people or something at the same time. Like, you have 2 minutes with each person and then you alternate between them for like several rounds. I think this is what is commonly understood under speed dating, and that just sounds very stupid to me. It's nothing I would consider partaking in. You're going to your laptop in bed. Is that healthy? You know, I recently had a discussion with someone about amphetamines, because I'm not really sure how severe they are, like on the drug scale. I mean, amphetamines are another name for speed, right? And from what I hear, speed is a fairly innocent, as in harmless drug compared to other drugs, like I don't know, even alcohol probably. Maybe I'm wrong though. Do I have a speed expert in chat to help me decide on whether that's any true or not? Have you taken speed though? I mean, from what I heard, it's basically just a drug that makes you stay awake for, oh my god, what the fuck is happening here? For very long. What the fuck is just happening? Like, okay. This looks spookier than it is. I mean, the enemies we just saw most certainly weren't ladies. I mean, maybe lady boys, but even that I don't think. Yeah, let's use dynamite again, because dynamite is the solution to everything. Are you familiar with yoga? Because I didn't know there was a thing called Bikram yoga. Did I ever mention that I actually tried out yoga? Like, for the fun of it? And apparently, I'm like an intermediate yoga user without having really done much yoga. I don't really know where that comes from, but... Oh, that's the name for hot yoga, which you do in hot, steamy rooms. Or is it yoga with hot, steamy people? Oh hey Ivysaur, how are you? I mean, you'd be surprised how much yoga you can find on YouTube. I mean, YouTube is filled with everything, including yoga people. Oh hey Quanica. Do I pump iron? Is that a euphemism for going to the gym and lifting weights? A bunch of Dalsim mains? I don't know what Dalsim mains are. Half naked, sweaty people. I mean, to me that doesn't sound appealing. I don't like warmth sexually. Like, I don't know why people like that. The colder the better. You stay alive longer if it's cold anyway. Street Fighter. I see. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, ever since I stopped streaming full-time, I have done more things in the physical realm, like working out and other useless shit. You know, unfortunately, in this country that I currently dwell in, all gyms and stuff have been closed due to the C-word pandemic, so now I have to work out on Twitch, and my game just crashed. Okay. Okay, that's unfortunate. You know what I realized is that like the more you work out, I probably should have saved again after I entered because now I have to redo all of this. Oh, I did save. Okay, never mind. It's good. I hope this doesn't happen again. Anyway, the more you work out, in the better shape you end up, and the better your shape you're in is, the less you end up sweating. So the more you work out, in the long run, the less you sweat. Oh, you've done the randomizer gag? It seems to me. £45, that's pretty much 20 kilograms, isn't it? That's quite a lot, isn't it? I mean, I actually didn't know that because I am not a cool kid, so I'm not quite down with the lingo. But thanks for telling me, and I have the same crash again. Maybe this is telling me I shouldn't take the elevator, or maybe I should take the stairs. I mean, I'm gonna give it another try and just see what happens. Eventually, if this keeps on crashing, then I should probably not do this because it doesn't seem stable. Sweating is healthy though? I mean, what do you mean by sweating is healthy? I mean, I'm sure it's not unhealthy, but if you're saying it's healthy, that implies it's kind of beneficial to your health. I'm not sure if that's the case. I mean, I know there are people who have a condition called anhidrosis, which is they cannot sweat, which is very unhealthy because it's usually fatal. But I'm not sure if just sweating is good in itself. Oh hey, Wish Gaffer, thank you very much. I mean, it's also a very rare condition in humans. There is a condition called CYPER, which stands for congenital insensitivity to pain and anhidrosis. You sweat inversely. Yeah, I think that is just called hyperhidrosis, where you just sweat more than most people do. I guess that's probably just as annoying, because if you sweat too much, that can probably be also quite bothersome. You know, then again, I hear that these days there is a procedure to have that taken care of. I'm not sure if it's elective, but apparently if you have like some kind of injection into your sweat glands under your armpits, you can make it so that you sweat less. I'm not sure if that's temporary only or if that's a more permanent solution. Oh, hey, Apochime, how are you? I'm good, and thank you. I mean, 62 months, I can't believe I've been alive for that long. Maybe I haven't even. I mean, 62 months, that is more than 5 years, which is more than 250 weeks, which is like many, many days. Thinking in seconds, it's even more than that. Am I getting the FF7 remake? I mean, I suppose at some point. I mean, I'm getting a lot of things. You know, you hope you're getting cake. When are you getting cake? You know, I'm not sure if you were there when I discussed this in great detail, but I have recently been getting kind of jaded with confectionery. I mean, cakes, gâteau, biscuits, cookies, pastries of any kinds. If you have them too much, too often, too excessively, you can grow tired and bored with them. Well, why take the stairs if you take this? Why take the elevator if you also take the stairs? I mean, the stairs have this item here that I want to pick up, which normally is the elixir. I wonder if that is randomized and changed as well. But I also wanted to see the enemies in the elevator. You know, I have to have it both ways. I have to maximize the fun. I have to do everything I can in this marvelous randomizer. You know, recently I have kind of found my niche. Okay, this is not the elixir. I have found that I have a great fondness for macarons, which is a very fancy French kind of confectionery. I'm not even sure what I would classify macarons as. Are they cookies? I mean, they are quite spooky as far as confectionery goes, because I can't even quite say what they are. You never had a macaron? Wow. That is shocking. But then again, don't you come from this place that might just be a macaron desert? The taste of nothing? Maybe you have never had good macarons then. I mean, I don't mean to be rude by pointing out the obvious, but I mean, I don't know how expensive they are where you are, but my macaron purveyor is offering me a fairly, if not even very affordable, I would say fair price for macaron. They cost like €1.20, which is like $1.20 more or less. really? They cost like $3 to $4 a piece? I mean, I would say that's excessive as well. But maybe you also live in a macaron desert where they're just more pricey because the supply of macarons is not very high. Okay, this thing is called demo. Interesting. I don't even live in France. What makes you think I live in France? I do not live in France, just to point that out. Okay, Cloud got another limit break. That's interesting. You know, also, one of the options I chose is that every character now has 3 limit breaks per level. So Cloud has just gained his 3rd level 1 limit break, which is Lunatic High. Okay, it's not Dynamite. That's an interesting change for once. My accent is from the Gates of Hell. It's from a spooky graveyard, probably. I mean, macarons come from France, that's true, but not every person who indulges in French pastries is French, right? I mean... Also, one thing I realized with macarons is that if you buy them in like a store and you have to transport them yourself to your home, because of the way they are made, they are very, very brittle, and if you like have them fall down, you break them, and I mean, it doesn't really have an impact on the taste. It just looks really, really sad if your macarons turn into like macaron flour. And you just have pieces of macarons that look like somebody vomited them out. It's quite depressing. I mean, this might have happened to me before, because I'm kind of clumsy sometimes. And sometimes becomes always when I'm carrying macarons. I wonder if this part has been randomized as well. Oh hey, Houseless Gamer. I have not seen you in a while. Also, I forgot how this works. Like, oh, I think it's this bookcase you're supposed to read. And now my spooky working memory tells me that economic translates to best. Oh god, I got Ramu. Okay, interesting. I mean, I have still no all materia, but I have Ramu now. Okay, whatever. Who cares? I mean, you can eventually buy all materia, so... should be good enough. So how is everyone doing in on this final day of March in the year 2020? You bought Animal Crossing today, and you are already regretting that choice. Okay. This— oh my god! Did you just give me contain materia? Okay. Okay. I mean, I'll take it. I get the impression that this randomizer is not really making it any more difficult. If anything, it just makes it like way too easy, because I have like too much stuff now. Stuff. I'm feeling like a turkey with all the stuffing I get. I mean, I too have never played an Animal Crossing game. I don't think that means that you have to end up looking like a degenerate. Oh hey, Endless Tundra, how are you? So can you only stream if I stream again, and can you only sleep if I stream again in 9 hours? That sounds awfully specific. Yes, we are in like a sort of a lockdown. Depends on what you mean by that. I mean, you can still leave the house to go shopping and stuff, but certain facilities have closed here. I mean, I don't have a comprehensive list of what's closed, but I suppose in like descending order of importance of closed stores, gyms have closed, brothels have closed. I mean, is there anything more to life than that? So it's like definitely lockdown here. I mean, I suppose also schools have closed, but who cares about schools? Yeah, I mean, more specifically, they didn't only close brothels, they closed brothels and similar institutions, if that's the right term. I mean, I'm sure they also closed bathhouses, massage parlors, and, well, similar. Oh my god, what the fuck is this? It's a game crash. Okay. Okay. I'm really glad I do save as often as I do. Yeah, I mean, that's true. I can sympathize with the misery of parents who now have to deal with their children 24/7. I can definitely sympathize. Am I still going to the forest to see the animals and hit them with my bike? I mean, for your information, mister, I guess I can call you mister, I never literally hit the animals with my bike. What I did is I ran them over with my bike, which is like a sort of different thing. And to be fair, it only happened one time. And it certainly was not intentional. I mean, actually, now that you mention it, I guess I did actually hit them with my bike. I mean, I only ran them over once, but I crashed into them another time. So I guess, I mean, I touched them with my bike twice in total. It seems that this enemy is not very stable, because I keep getting these crashes here. You know, recently I saw a dead rabbit just lying on the side of the street. It didn't have any physical injuries. There was just a dead rabbit lying on the side of the street, and I don't even know what it died from. Just, I mean, it was not decomposed or like half splattered all over the street. Like sometimes you see hedgehogs or pigeons. It was just dead. Like, apparently it was dead because it didn't run around anymore. You know, I generally assume that rabbits do not get drugged. I mean, sleeping maybe, but I don't think they normally sleep in that location. Well, in that case, see you, Sialash, and have fun in the meeting. Good night, good fun and stuff. Don't die. I would like you to know that there is no such thing as eating too many confectionaries. You have seen a rabbit eat cannabis? How have you even seen that? Like in a movie? So may I just ask why your friend would even fed a rabbit a butt of cannabis? Like, I wonder what that thought process was like. That sounds just interesting. So it seems that I must not get the encounter, because otherwise my game crashes. Now how do you do that? I mean, I could just do some magic, or I could try to cope with it. Currently I'm still trying to just cope with it. If this persists, then I can just, for example, disable random encounters. I mean, or I could go to the even more ridiculous attempt and step countering it, but let's be real, who's gonna do that? Oh hey Medric, how are you? You have determined I'm really the real kindness? How have you determined that? I mean, I would like to see proof that really shows that I'm the real kindness. Because, to be honest, I don't really believe you. Okay, this worked. But then again, I was just lucky. What exactly is an IRL streamer? Are these people who stream non-video game stuff? Like bloggers on YouTube? I don't know, that sounds like a lot of work. It lines up. Well, that doesn't really say much though, does it? Just film my bike wide through the woods. You know, I have thought about that, but I think in reality it would be pretty boring, because I go on like 2-hour-long bike rides, and even I get bored midway through them. I can't really see how anybody would want to watch that. I mean, it might become more exciting with the occasional deer collision every once in a while, but they're probably just too far in between to make for any kind of consistent humor. Transforming into a rabbit? I don't know how this is gonna work. I mean, I don't really believe in meditating. Is that really a thing? Didn't work for me. No, actually I have not been attacked by wildlife lately. In fact, I probably have attacked wildlife myself more lately. I mean, people who have been in this stream since the beginning for like the last 3 hours, I'm really sorry to tell you the same story for the 3rd time now, but when I was in the forest a few weeks ago, I kind of vomited on probably some kind of bugs. So I guess you can call that an attack on wildlife by myself. Bugs aren't wildlife? Well, that's good to know. What a relief. And hey Medwick, thank you. I mean, it's not like I did that intentionally, the vomit on wildlife, but uh, you know, if you eat like 15,000 calories in like 15 minutes, and then decide it's a good idea to go for a walk slash run, things like this can happen. You know, I realized that you can actually have tags in your Twitch stream titles now. You ordered a PS4 to play the remake, but you won't get it during the quarantine. Why is that? I mean, does the quarantine affect deliveries in France? That's kind of bad, isn't it? What a shame. How randomized did I make this run? So, what is randomized is the following. Limit breaks are randomized. That is one thing that has been randomized. Enemies are randomized. And finally, and not finally, there's actually quite a few more things. Characters' starting stats are randomized. Their stat growth is randomized, including HP and MP. And I think the only other thing that is randomized is locations of items and materia and stuff. So what I get in chests, for example, is randomized. You know, anyway, I was talking about Twitch stream tags, and I realized there's quite a few interesting ones, including baking, which in the description said it's about the making of baked goods, which reminded me to inform you that I have become quite the baker myself recently. Like, in the last couple of months, I made cake myself repeatedly without causing any kind of house fire, which I would say is something to be proud of. The title, oh well, maybe it's not here, but give me a second. This is the link that I cannot currently copy and paste in chat because I'm locked out. Oh god. So I got this randomizer of a forum called quim.com. Maybe somebody can type this in chat. There is a link, but as I said, I cannot currently post it because somehow I am locked out of Twitch. Oh, you can post it in Discord? Oh, okay, yeah, that works. There you go. Anyway, how does one get locked out? I mean, I suppose this Twitch, I don't know. Apparently I'm not using Twitch often enough. And Twitch doesn't want me to type in my own chats. I mean, it's probably discrimination. I'm wondering what kind of discrimination. Is it age discrimination? Am I too young, too old, too middle-aged for Twitch? Must be that. I'm calling age discrimination. I have it on my smartphone, but I would have to like type the link manually, and that's too much work. Oh, hey, revenues. You know, in my time of not streaming, I have made quite a few astounding realizations, downright revelations. Only the other day, more specifically, I think 3 days ago, I found out that I chose the wrong character. That is something I didn't find out 3 days ago. That's something I found out just a few seconds ago. But anyway, 3 days ago or something like that, I realized that in, I think, the year 2015, they made a new Dragon Ball anime called Dragon Ball Super that I had no idea existed. And I started watching that, which cost me like another, I don't know, 2 days. If I hadn't discovered that, I probably would have started streaming like 2 days earlier, but then that happens. I mean, to be perfectly honest, to me, Dragon Ball Super felt like somebody's Dragon Ball Z fanfic. I mean, I'm not saying it was bad, it was just really unexpected. I actually quite liked it, but it really felt like fanfiction to me for the most part. In a good way. Frieza is in it, yes, but to be honest, Frieza is in a lot of Dragon Ball anime. Take, that's an interesting name. Take and Tokidan, okay. The only anime you watched in the last 5 years is Vinland Saga. I have no idea what Vinland Saga is. I mean, it's not like I watch a lot of anime, but I think it's fun to watch anime every now and then. Some people have a fairly strange view of thinking anime is some kind of dirty, cheap medium of entertainment. I don't really see why that is, or they think so. But quite a few people I know think very poorly of anime. Isn't that spelled with a V, not a W? Because I think I remember that from my childhood. But I don't have very strong memories of that, to be honest. Oh my god, she has W magic. What the fuck is this even? What is his limit break? Oh, it's not dynamite? Interesting. I mean, if you want, I could give you a an interesting / spooky history of the anime I've watched recently. What the fuck is even wrong with this game? Are you kidding me? I mean, it seems we have found the current MVP in this mod. Also, strangely enough, I cannot even see the limit break, but I can choose it. Okay, whatever. I'll take it. So anyway, speaking of anime I've watched recently, I guess I might forget some, but I guess the most memorable anime might still be in my mind. So what have I watched? I have watched... should I even be ashamed of the stuff I've watched? Probably not. So let's see, I've watched Neon Genesis Evangelion, which is a perfectly weird anime. Yeah, please everyone shame me. That sounds exciting. So I've watched Neon Genesis Evangelion. I have watched Crayon Shinchan. I have watched Dragon Ball Super. I have watched Sailor Moon, the entire series. What else? I wonder what is weird out of that selection. Have I watched anything else? I mean, I have also rewatched Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. I believe that's all I've watched. That I can think of at least. I mean, is Sailor Moon shameable? Isn't Sailor Moon just hardcore pop culture? I mean, I felt like I had to educate myself by watching Sailor Moon. I mean, it's basically just general knowledge at this point. I mean, I had to know what Usagi Tsukino is all about and her really important life adventures. I mean, is she gonna find Tuxedo Mask and his secret identity? Is she gonna do that? I mean, it's truly fascinating and so thrilling to go with her on her daily adventures and all the other shitty Sailor Moons. And I mean, they're not Sailor Moons, they're called Sailor Soldiers. Isn't that what they're called? So goodbye, Walter Pickles, don't die. Aren't they in the Japanese version called Sailor Senshi? And isn't Sailor Moon's actual title Bishoujo Senshi something? Pretty Soldier Sailor Moon? I mean, what I really didn't like about Sailor Moon the series, like all the various seasons, I guess you can call them, like every now and then a new character appears out of nowhere in Sailor Moon's family. Like initially it's Chibiusa, and then it's this other in the last season, spoiler alert, it's this red-haired child, and like nobody tries to even give an explanation of why. It's just doesn't make any sense, but okay. Oh yeah, you mean the Pegasus arc? Yeah, I mean, I guess I wasn't really the target audience for this show, because most of the time I just felt that nothing made any fucking sense, and I was just kind of not quite sure why I was watching it again. But then I realized I was on my great quest for education in anime culture, so I had to resist my urge to abandon it, and I had to watch like every season's around 40 episodes till I was at the end, and I felt really enlightened by this education. Oh, you're talking about Sailor Saturn, right? I think what came out was Sailor Moon Crystal, which is essentially just a rehash of the original Sailor Moon. It's just basically a remaster. Pope. Okay. I mean, these names are really amazing. I'm fighting a seahorse called Hare. I mean, that is saying something, I guess. You know, that's quite tragic, because I really thought that, generally speaking, filler episodes in anime are most enjoyable to me. I mean, I don't really like too much content that has like meaning and actual plot. I just like filler episodes. I mean, if there's like too much actually going on, I don't enjoy it anymore. Yeah, I mean, one of the best Dragon Ball Z episodes of all times is the one where Goku and Piccolo have a driving lesson. And that apparently is filler. I mean, that's not filler, it's the most important of the entire series plot. But apparently, if this is filler, then if there were no filler, we would not have this gem of an episode. Naruto is 45% filler. You know, I have seen some Naruto when I grew up on like television back in the day, and I couldn't really get into it, I'm afraid. Oh hey Frosty, how are you? I have seen some Dragon Ball Z abridged, yes, but not all of it. I mean, some of the other anime I have watched when I was a little person, smaller than I am today. I have watched Naruto, One Piece, Pokemon. Oh god, there are quite a few other ones I must have watched. Wenma a half, is that... I don't know if that's just... I'm not sure what it's actually called, but I think my language's title, Wenma 1/2 or something. I have no idea what this show even is about, but apparently I watched a few episodes of that. Oh yeah, I also watched Digimon, but I guess nobody really likes that show. Oh, I watched Inuyasha. The most pointless anime I think I've ever watched. I couldn't really get into that either. What else is there? Someone's seeing a pattern there. You know, back in the day, I actually couldn't stand Inuyasha so much, and a friend of mine was very much into it. So I decided, as a child, with questionable ideas and ideals, to make a board game called Inuyasha. It's... I don't even know what I was thinking, but I made my own board game Inuyasha, which was just about why Inuyasha sucked. It was a very perfect party game to play. I know I have not watched First of the North Star. I'm sorry, never even heard of that. I already feel like I have too much stuff, so now I have a hard time choosing which stuff I'm gonna stuff onto my characters. I mean, these first world problems of having to choose between too many options are really quite daunting. Interestingly enough, I still have no all materia. I mean, I have mega all and some other things, but no all yet. Some questions are better left unanswered, I guess. I honestly have no idea. That's the closest I can give you to a serious, genuine answer. Hey Deluxon, how are you? CV? What does CV stand for? Curriculum Vitae? Castlevania? Or do you mean the other, more wenched, wicked, wedged CV acronym? Coronavirus. From Wuhan, China. I guess it has, because to be honest, all the fun I used to get was from going into the spooky outside world. But now the spooky outside world has kind of ceased offering me all the juicy fun it used to until only so recently. So that now I have to go into the more introspective fun world, which streaming seems to be part of. Hey Fuzzy Chords, how are you? Oh, hey, Keto Base. Am I fighting 3 things of this? Wow. Sounds a bit scary. I mean, maybe you generally just shouldn't fear things. Don't fear the fear. I mean, technically, if you are like somewhere in a public space and somebody just happens to sneeze and the sneeze attack is in such close proximity, like close combat, that they are sneezing all over your face, then basically even if you wash your hands and you don't touch your face, you can't really protect yourself and you fall a victim to this ambush sneak attack, sneeze attack. So why can't I use ethers in battle? This might be a glitch or something, but shouldn't I be able to use ethers in battle? I think this is just a new form of poverty mod. Oh, that's sorry. That's bad. I'm sorry for you. This thing is called Eats. That's wonderful. Yeah, but I don't think he meant that you cannot use ethers in battle. Oh my god, what the fuck? Maybe dynamite is the solution? Can dynamite just maybe be the solution, maybe? Maybe? Doesn't quite seem like dynamite is the solution right now. Yeah, that was not the solution, I'm afraid. I mean, this fight is harder than I had anticipated. Maybe that's because I'm fighting 3 of these things. And maybe because my game just crashed. That is interesting. Isn't Sega Chief Scottish? Have you talked to Sega Chief? Haven't you actually done so? I mean, I have talked to Sega Chief. I think I even know more than that about him. Maybe you didn't pay enough attention to the specific origins of certain stream viewers, and now it's come to haunt you. Maybe you should next time make a spreadsheet, an Excel spreadsheet. You know, I wonder if many people do that, but there was a time when I was like riding the eccentricity wave to the horizon, and I decided it's a good idea to make an Excel spreadsheet for chocolate taste testings, and I had like, I don't know, probably at least 6, 7 columns with like different things I noted down. And I took these taste testings very seriously. Was geometric. Have a good day, life, chair, breakfast, things. Goodbye, don't die. Why though? Because if you ever once start to embark on the scientific methods, you cannot just eat chocolates without having a spreadsheet to note down what you're feeling when you're eating them, and just for documentation's sake, to discuss them with people who haven't tried them, to like tell them what they shouldn't eat and stuff, maybe. I don't know. Maybe just because you feel like it's a good idea. No, it was not a blind taste test. I basically had different chocolates and I ate them, and then I noted down what I thought about them, so that if I buy them again, I know which ones I should and shouldn't get. Because I have sometimes quite peculiar tastes. Like, in particular when it comes to chocolates, I'm very peculiar and particular. So what is randomized in this randomizer? Enemies are randomized, limit breaks are randomized, character stats, stat growth curves are randomized, and treasure chests, etc. are randomized. So you're saying you eat chocolates without an Excel spreadsheet? That, I must say, is kind of sad indeed. You even eat the bad chocolate? Wow. Why would you do that? The chocolates you don't like, you use them to give away to people you don't like, so they can eat the chocolates you don't like. Maybe that's just what I do, but... you know, to be honest, I think I have not only no good ramen shops, I think I have no ramen shops whatsoever near where I live. When did I last have good ramen in a shop? Probably when I was in Japan, because I don't think I ever had ramen outside of in Japan. Maybe I'm taking this menu too serious, but I have a tendency to over-obsess over these things. So I'm wondering what I should do battle-wise. I mean, I could hope that Red 13 gets Limit Break again. Because his Limit Break will be Omni Slash, which will be quite powerful. On the other hand, I could use Magic. Unfortunately, Aerith doesn't really have much MP, so she can't really make use of just about anything. And also apparently I cannot use Ethers in battle, which I don't know what that's about. Oh, but I have Tranquilizers. That's interesting. I wonder if... I don't think there was an option to randomize the music, but I don't see why that shouldn't work. I mean, that might be completely insignificant to the rest of the randomizer, but I guess it would be part of the experience to also just randomize the music. I mean, a lot of things can be entertaining, just about anything really. That doesn't mean it's good though. To be honest, I'm not even really quite sure what I'm trying to accomplish here. I don't really have a battle strategy. I mean, my strategy is just hope Red 13 gets a limit break, hope no one dies. I don't think that's a very good strategy. I mean, the issue is you don't have cloud in this battle. Now all limit breaks are long reach, so that's not gonna be an issue. I mean, I guess this first fight went alright. It's just the issue that now I have the second stage. So please, can you not kill Aerith? That would be really great. Is everyone still alive? Oh, look, I can use dynamite again. Wonderful. I think dynamite kind of sucks. Maybe I should have relied on grenades a bit earlier still. Already. Now I just have to make sure that Cloud doesn't die, which is not exactly guaranteed. Wayne coming soon? What is that supposed to mean? That sounds awfully deep. The MP cost is 180. That is definitely too much. now I have to do the previous battle again as well, because, oh my god. I mean, this randomizer really is a harsh game. Well, thanks for the advice. I will try to follow it next time. Also, I will be back in a few minutes. I have to get myself some more drinks.